Probably everybody, telling the players our hearts have been broken into many, many pieces this year on finishing the games. We had an opportunity right there at the end. Who was in field goal range, and if we just get another 5 to 10 yards, it was in comfortable range for our kicker. But like I told the players, the couple plays, I'll take the blame. It's one of those like the field goal that we didn't attempt on the 4th and inches coming out of halftime. You're down 3. Just how I was feeling, like, man, we should be able to get an inch. 2 yards, a yard, 2 plays. Probably kick the field goal. If I do it all over again, kick the field goal there, knowing to tie the game up and go from there. At the end of the game, my thought process was, let's get 1. We scored, get 1, and let's win the game versus going from 3 and then you're kicking a field goal to tie it. Just spirit-wise, reality is we lost the game. We've lost a few games that way. We have shown improvement. We are getting better. All those things we say every week. But we have to figure out a way to get across that finish line.
Coach Buckley, so is the thought process now that things are kind of winding down to put your mindset on what's happening in the next 2 games, or is it more or less, let's look forward to next year?
Well, we got 2 games left. We are professionals, and we're gonna do what we've been doing. We're gonna get better, and we're gonna finish. We got to find a way to finish. This will probably be, like I said, every year you have a group of guys and you try to finish with them, and you let next year worry about next year. Right now, we are planning for San Antonio and going out to give our best performance.
Along those lines, Terrell, how much of what you have to do the next couple of weeks is evaluation? I think you mentioned it after the game, looking at some guys and figuring out what you have going into next year.
You have to keep an eye on. We have a team, have what we have. The future will take care of itself, but for now, just looking at maybe some different guys, giving them a bigger role to see if they can help us get over this finish line. I don't think there's any different, and I know I said it last week, than what we've done from the beginning of the year to the middle. As you can see, from transactions to rotating guys and just trying to figure out a way. We're playing hard. You watch other teams in the league and you keep saying we're right there. And watching San Antonio in Houston, and you just feel so bad afterwards because you're saying, man, we win this game and we still in the playoff hunt, and that's why you play. But we have 2 games left and we're not in the playoff hunt. And now you got to go to that secondary thing of why you play is for the love of the game and to do your very best.
Well, Coach, something I want to ask you about too is part of it a matter like this being a league of evaluation, right? It's a spring league. A lot of guys are looking to get to the NFL, and heck, how many quarterbacks do we have now? We've seen Perez, for example, in person, he changed teams, went from a playoff eliminated team to one that's competing for it now. Is that an element that helps kind of make your job easier as a coach to motivate?
Yes, what all the stuff you just said. Do you want to continue to play professional ball for next year? There's another team that could scoop you up that's in the playoffs. And just pure competition. Do you want to compete? Whatever reason that motivates you, I tell the guys, use it. Just for the pure love of the game, the pure, like, I'm getting an opportunity to play professional ball and getting paid for it. This is what I do. So whatever that is, I tell the guys, I'm for it. Whatever you have to do to get up and get ready for this game, do it.
Coach, we had 2 overtime games this week, first time in this iteration of it. What are your thoughts on the XFL's overtime format, given what we've seen this week?
Love it. You get the excitement. I watched both games. Well, I watched one. I saw the highlights of the other one. So you're sitting on the edge of your seat watching the end of the game, and then you see the overtime. and now you're still sitting on the edge of your seat. I'm telling you, XFL, you got to love it. This is awesome. This is great for football. It's great for everybody. And I think the fans really, really appreciate it. What's happening in the XFL. You cannot get this anywhere else.
Yeah. Just to so the fans have a little bit more clarity on that, there was a lot of questions about the last end of the game, your thought process on going for the 1 versus the 3 point to tie the game.
Yes. Well, we was trying to win. I had belief. This is when you say the growth of your team, the confidence in your team and your players. So we score. My mind is we're going to stop. We got enough time. We got timeouts. Defense is going to stop. We're going to get the ball back with a minute something left in the game. We only need 3 points. You only have to drive but 40 yards. Our kicker has a range of 62 yards. All these things went in the thought process. Now, you go for 3 and don't get the 3. And by the way, I would ask the fans too, we look at all this research stuff. We are 0-9 from 3 to 2-point conversions. We haven't made one all year. That goes into the thought process too. Well, let's at least get 1. We're not very good at 2 and obviously 3-point. 2, we've done more. 7, we haven't been good at that either. So you just go through your mind like, how can we get this win? We play to win. We can get 1, stop them, which I believe we would. That's what I believe. And it was going to plan. We was driving down the field. We didn't get 62-yard field goal range, and we made another mistake.
Terrell, you got. I know Paxton's gone on and signed with San Antonio. You got a chance you might face him at some point, maybe in that game. Is that concern at all? I mean, or is that just part of the game itself?
I'm sorry. You want to say that again?
Paxton Lynch. When you
Yes.
released him this past week, he signed with San Antonio. I know that there's a possibility you could end up facing him, maybe. Or he's on the team you're facing this week. What kind of challenges does that present for you guys? And there's a concern.
Well, it's a challenge both ways. Obviously, he knows us. He knows our offense, but we also know him. So it'll be one of those, okay, I know you, and you know me. So if you keep things cool, we'll keep it cool. But it's also exciting, too, because Lynch is, I enjoy the young man. We had a great conversation before that. So it'll kind of be like Perez, even though Perez never played for us. He worked out for us in Orlando, and I got to know him pretty decent. Where, beat me twice. That you have kind of a friendly, competitive relationship with each other. So I think anytime you get a chance to compete, whether you know somebody or not, I think knowing them may give you a little more juice. To say, okay, I got the better end of you. Now we got to figure out ways to get motivated and still keep our mind set on finishing strong.
Coach, looking ahead to the road stand to close out the season, you're going into some environments where the XFL fans have come out in big numbers, and especially at the end of the season, looking ahead to St. Louis, that's probably going to be the noisiest environment that you guys will have played in. How are you guys going to get the mental game going of preparing for a road game where the fans are going to be numerous and hostile?
Well, it's what you want as an athlete. Now, I want to commend all crowd in Orlando for how the season has gone, for still to come out and be as loud as they were and supportive as they were. For myself, the players, we really appreciate that. And so that's going to prepare us for St. Louis. Obviously going to be a few more fans there. It's going to be loud, but that's as a player that brings a team together. It's you against us, them against us. So I think it it's going to be a very good thing, very exciting for us to walk into an environment like that at both places. So we're very excited about the challenge.
And how was on a Sunday? What did you tell a team as far as what they did well and what things they kind of needed more work on?
My honest Sunday was really more about me, of the field goal, about the couple calls that I wish I could have gotten back. We know what happened. Like I told them, we know everybody wish they had some calls or do-overs. That's just a part of life. Now, how do we handle that? And I explained to them how I handled it, just accepting, working out, getting stuff right, and taking notes and trying to make sure it doesn't happen again. Experience brings knowledge and wisdom, right? So that was a learning experience for all of us of what not to do.
Terrell, we talked a little bit about obviously players, kind of evaluating players and things like that. For you over the next 2 weeks, what are you looking to do anything different? You're going to try to do anything to shake things up a little bit, or are you stay pat the way you've been all season long?
Well, every week we do something different, whether schematically, whether even with the coaches. So we're not going to change that. If you look at, oh man, I had my sheet. I misplaced my sheet. So over the last 5 games, I want to say we've averaged a little over 24 points a game. If I'm not mistaken, I don't have my sheet here. I think we've given up somewhere around the same number. So we've fixed a lot of problems, issues we've had. Now it's okay, the turnovers. We got a few more on defense, but offensively, ball security. We've the false starts and the offsides, we've kind of brought that down over the last 5 games. So it's still a couple little things that's hurting us, which obviously the biggest ones was the turnovers this past game. And one of the things I told the teams, we got to get out of our mouth, out of our system, saying, man, if we would have. I mean, you go back and look at over the season, and if you take away 15, 20 plays, then we're having a different conversation. So getting the if out and seeing what reality is, we're 1-7. We play hard. We do a lot of good things, but we also do a lot of bad things. So how do we fix the bad things and keep the good things? That's what it's about. The focus will be this week. And that's in all phases, from top down, from me coaching, decisions, to finishing off games.
Good afternoon, Coach.
Afternoon.
How frustrating is it with the 7 losses that the one thing that has eluded you in those 7 losses has been complementary football? When the offense is on fire, the defense is struggling. When the defense is shutting them down, the offense is struggling. How frustrating is it to have that happen consistently?
It's very frustrating. I don't know if you've seen, like I said, I take these notes now on the sideline to calm down, and I write that down. It's just like the beginning of the game. Right now, can we get off to a better start? Please, I put please in. I mean, we've pulled back, we've changed when we get over there, how long we're out in the field. I mean, again, it's one of those evolution that we acknowledge, we accept, we see the same thing you guys see, and then we go into, okay, how can we get better? How can we fix? We're not just sitting there with our hands, sitting on our hands saying, okay, we're going to get better. Yeah, it's a little bit, but it's not a big problem. It's a little bit. No, we realize what it is. And we're doing everything we can to rectify that. And to your question, to get the offense, defense, special teams. We had 2 units working this past game, which was defense, special teams. Or you look back early in the year, we'll have offense working, defense kind of working. Special team was awful. You fix that. So one good thing I can say that hopefully you guys can see, we do have the ability to make adjustments, to fix things. The time is not permitting us to put it all together. And I think that's unfortunately for us, for the fans. I think the fans deserve better, and they will get better soon. We're not going to stop trying to get this thing rolling.
You know what? I'm sorry, Al. Now that you're officially eliminated from the playoffs, do you feel going into these last 2 games that you just get to go out there and play fast and free and say, listen, we got nothing else to lose?
Well, no. I think this is still a work in progress where we are trying to build and establish a culture, a sense of direction, identity for offense, defense, and special team. And that culture will carry over. So we're not going to go out and do crazy stuff. And you saw a couple of weeks ago, for us, throwback passes, fake this. We ran a reverse last week. We want that to be a part of our culture.
And was there any coaching that you may have given to Quentin as far as the turnovers or any quarterback to help them avoid some of those turnovers?
Yes, secure the ball. fall on top of the ball, right? I felt like one of the interceptions while receiver slipped. Now looking back, the defensive back pushed the receiver in the back too, came over his back. That could have been a challenge right there. But overall, the coaching point, just like, again, you see, throw it on time, throw it on rhythm. Just like the last one, you can't take a sack there, right? Throw it out of bounds, give us first down. First down, 41 seconds left, we got 2 timeouts. So, again, the first step in recovery, the first step of healing or growing is admitting that there was a mistake, there was an issue, and how can we fix it?
And on the field goal thing that you mentioned around halftime, it was just a thought process that, hey, we can still move the ball and let's just keep this drive going? Or was it like, you know what, just being a little too aggressive?
No, you figured all those things run. Defense is playing well. Arlington really can't do anything with the defense. It's a 3rd down, we got a yard to go. You figure 2 downs, then 4th down is inches. And in your mind, and you saying you should be able to get an inch. I don't care who you playing against, right? Now, in reality, we didn't get it. And now you have all this, and you have all these other thoughts. But the thought process was get a first, score, go up 4. They can't do nothing on offense with us. We stop them, go down and score again, now we're up 11, now it's over. So you figured in a 10-minute span, we score there, we stop them, we score again, we come out of there victorious. Reality is it didn't go that way.
Anything else, guys?
Yes,
like
he on mute. He was at.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm sorry about that. It seemed like they played a lot of zone defense. Did that surprise you in this particular game?
I think it surprised us for a little while, but we still had guys. They had their front 4 rush pretty good. We still had a bunch of opportunities to do some good things. So, and that's what I keep talking about, being able to adjust. We had a game plan. They change, which you're supposed to. Like, we change. That's why you practice. That's why we spend 10, 12 hours over here creating a game plan, creating another game plan, and creating another one. And sometimes we adjust properly. Sometimes we wait too long. Sometimes we don't adjust at all. And that's what gets you in trouble. that gets you with turnovers and penalties, that gets you 1-7.
Yeah, and you mentioned this a bit earlier about the games that happened this week. It seems in this league that you really have to do excellent between being at the 10-yard line and scoring and less than that, because it seemed like that's going to be vital in your success.
Vital. And we obviously we didn't do, now 1 we did, but from 10, I mean, just not good. Just not good at all. And that's going to be one of the areas of emphasis of improvement. And I don't know if you could just run your regular offense. I looking at it now, and this is where the growth for everybody. First year, I look around the league and you sitting there and beating yourself up. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, we are awful. Then you watch other teams, they look like you. And you like, okay, I feel a little bit better. I don't feel like awful. I just feel awful. And that's something that we're gonna have to really, really work on all season. But I'm telling you, just like you smiling right there. When you do watch and you do study and you watch other teams, you do as bad as you feel. And you watching other games and you watching it kind of selfish, is like, please look like us a little bit so I can feel a little bit better. And you get a little of that. And then you congratulate the other team and guys for what they've done, like Anthony Beck and Barlow, guys that win, and you console the other guys. It is like a big family. I mean, you compete tooth and nail, but at the end of the day, you respect everybody and you congratulate them for competing and giving 100%.
Coach, given the fact that you're one of the coaches who've used the fewest challenges this season, do you plan to revisit that at the end of the season and think, maybe I'll be a little more aggressive with my challenges next season?
Well, they have to be right. I think the right opportunity. When I use them early, I never won one, right? So I want to use a couple more, and I was advised not to. Just like this past game where it looked like the quarterback body or something was over the ball, and they were talking about his foot didn't pass the line of scrimmage on a big play. So sometimes you get like, no, don't do it. Just more strategic. I think I could have used, you just get so caught up and you don't see the angle on the interception where the receiver slipped and he was pushed. I could have used it there. I didn't see that until I watched tape. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And nobody said nothing. You just got to keep going. So that's one I wish I would have used it there.
Good, guys.
Yes.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all. Talk to you guys next week.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Take care.
Thank you.